Hi, you are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our networks and platforms. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Jay Silverman in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona.
Jay and I. Uh, I'm so glad that we finally got these guys together because Jay's had his bottle since the end of 2020. It's the end of the pandemic almost. And this is a beautiful rendition. This one is called Prolijo, right? Yeah, Prolijo. Prolijo. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what that means. I'm going to find out what that means. But this is the Espadin Mezcal. And look at that. I like that. I like the way this looks. I just, there's something about wrapping it in twine that just makes it look rustic.
Yeah, they have that video where you can see them wrapping it in twine. It's really fun to watch. It's soothing. They do a nice job with that.
Jason, I just broke the seal on mine because I honestly just received these this week. Jason had gotten his bottle way earlier, so
2021.
Ooh, whoa, hello. Lately I've been doing that now. I didn't used to sniff, off the bottleneck, but it's becoming a wine thing for me. You know how you sniff the cork, or
Yeah.
And wow, man, this already smells beautiful. I'm going to use my Stasso Jarrito to pour this, and as usual, we're just going to pour this stuff, drink it, taste it, tell you what it's all about, and then give you all the ins and outs and tell you where you can get it and who to find and who's involved. So like I say, I just broke the seal on this one. This is it's 100% agave Augustifolia, which is of course Espadin. And I believe the ABV on this one is a 45, so it's coming in at a robust 45, but that shouldn't scare anybody.
I received the bottles actually on New Year's Eve. That's what was funny, because I came home from working on New Year's Eve, and it was just now 2021, and I had the bottles like at my doorstep, which I don't expect those deliveries at that time of night, but it was sitting out there, and I was like, wow, that's a good sign. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, and it has been so far. We've Jay and I have done some really exotic beverages. We sotol, and now we got a mezcal. Maybe we should get you a tequila just to round everything off, man.
Have some tequilas. But yeah, the mezcal arrived, and I thought was interesting that they refer to the Espadin as a Blanco. Some people use the term Joven. This one is Blanco, and pretty straightforward. But they have a whole lineup of quite a few mezcals. They make 7 or 8 different marks.
We'll give you more of who the importers are, and they're importers / marketers, and they made this happen. I'll give you the name a little bit later on, but I am digging the legs and tears on this thing, and the nose is fantastic.
It's bursting with lots of nice flavors. I mean, it's been a really I've had the bottle for a couple months, in fact, and so
he's been lucky. On the other hand, this is my first sniff, and I'm using of course the Jarrito for the mezcal for the higher ABV, and I'm getting a lot from what we know about the process. This is a just quickly to give you why I'm smelling what I'm smelling. I'm going to roll up to here the information, and they have 2 separate versions of their Espadin, and this one is the Maestro Mezcalero is Petronilo Rosario, I believe, yes, and it gives you the region as well. These agaves are 8 to 10 years old. It is an artisanal process, so they're using underground stone pit oven. It's milled with a taona, and fermented in open air pine vats. So that should open up everybody's eyes to what we're getting, and it's I thought it would be a bit earthier, a bit more earthier because of the Taona. I thought I'd get a little bit more wet cement, but I'm not getting that at all.
It's got a really nice, well-rounded, aroma where it's got the tropical fruit. It's got a touch of sweetness, but lots of maguey in there, and it's got it's got some potency, and it's really appealing. It's a good quality mezcal. Based on the aroma, it's a great quality mezcal. They use a copper pot still to distill it. So
There's no by the way, there's no alcohol involved. It is a much more aromatic nose. The bouquet is everything, but it's bright. And that's what I like about it. That I thought, again, I always come to these things with trying to figure out what it is just by looking at the process, what I'm going to taste and smell, and it's never that way. It's always something completely different. There's no smoke. I'm not getting any smoke. Are you getting any?
no, I don't get smoke. They have the semi cultivated espadín, so I feel like they've been taking their time and taking really good care of their espadín. They're making a good amount of variety of mezcal, so they're really not in a hurry to rush this to the market. They've been planning pretty carefully, I would say, getting all their ducks in a row and getting these agaves from San Pedro Totalapa in Oaxaca. And then some of their production is in Etla. But this is from San Pedro Totalapa.
As it opens up, I am getting just a bit more alcohol, but not a lot. It's not aggressive on the alcohol at all. I'm going to dive in because I know you've already had it because I know but I'm still just dealing with the nose on this one. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh. Wow.
Delicious. Yeah, it's got a little pop, little heat to it, but it has this really nice balance. There's a sweetness there, but it's got a very earthy agave base, and it's just got like a little this, little that, little fruit, little citrus, little mango, pineapple. It's just kind of a well-rounded, well-balanced taste.
It's sweet and spicy all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as it works its way to the palate, over the palate, it's first it's spicy, then it's sweet, then it's spicy. I held a little bit of it right here in I always look for lip numbness. It's there, and that's a good sign if you can handle that, because the spiciness and the lip numbness kind of go together. So you're feeling spicy and numbness at the same time on the inside of your lip. And if you're not familiar with that technique, we cover that also in the Consumer Catador course, how to actually hold it, and you practice with water first. What kind of finish did you get on this? Because I'm not getting a long, warm, fuzzy. It's almost like medium to short.
It's a bit more refined, and it's got the balance on the taste, but the finish is a little on the shorter side. Yeah, I would say. Mm-hmm. But overall, it's a great taste. It's a nice aroma. It's got some intricacy in there, and I think it opens up nicely.
Yeah, this is one of those that it continues to open up, and it's beautiful, man, and it's bright. I like that it's bright. It's coming in at 45 ABV, so the spiciness is not off-putting. I think with this style of espadín, this style of mezcal, and if you followed us at all, you know that the ABV makes a big difference. The hand of the maker makes a big difference. Where the plants are coming from makes a big difference because of the microclimates that are involved in just in Oaxaca. We're not even talking about other states that can produce mezcal. But I'm really digging this, man. I can see where this is. Now, okay, now you're the bartender. What kind of cocktail what would you enhance this or use fresh fruit, juices? How would you play with this? Give us
Yeah,
a couple of
it's
suggestions.
a good call. I mean, if you want to make a little more of a, a little pricier cocktail, really, treat yourself. I would use this mezcal. I would primarily drink it neat with a copita, but my favorite thing about it is the mouthfeel. It's just really, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's got the agave, it's got the earthiness, and it's got a little bit of a tropical fruit. So I wouldn't mix it too much, but if you wanted to do a little bit of a shrub in there and a dash of bitters and a little bit of citrus and shake it up, like a mezcal sour, but really focused on the mezcal with maybe just a touch of egg white, a touch of lemon, and then not a whole lot. You want to be able to taste it in the cocktail. So like I wouldn't put too much. Um,
No, but by the same token, I think it would stand up to a really good cocktail, though.
oh yeah, just a mezcal margarita, a nice mezcal sour with a little egg white, and
Mm.
would give it a great consistency and mouthfeel. And but yeah, no, I love the mouthfeel is the best part. I mean, it's when you're sipping on it, it's absolutely enjoyable. It's
Yeah, and it tends to coat the palate every time, and that's a natural thing. It tends to coat the palate with some of the minerality that you'll get from and I would say probably from the Taona as well as the region. Let me give you the ins and outs, and first of all, I got to give you the name of the folks that made this happen because they were really nice to uh, get this to us. Juan Pena and I believe her name is Katie, and they are the owners of the. Let me get you the name. Also, is Spirits Consulting International Brand Makers is what they are. But and I believe that they're heavily involved with this particular brand and having sourced it, and they want to make sure that they present the name of the maker. You know what? Do the bottles have the name of the master distiller? Just out of curiosity, I know that they mention them.
uh,
Um,
let's see this one.
there's no yeah, it's there's nothing here.
I don't know if it does actually, but they give credit on their website and everything.
Yeah, on their website, there's a lot of great information on the website. This is one of the really good websites where if you don't have enough information on the label and you're not getting it from the QR code, which we've mentioned here before, if you have a good QR code reader, snap that tag right there, and it takes you to what the Consejo Regulador de Mezcal, or similar to what the NOM list is in tequila, and you can get more information. I have not had a chance to do that. Sometimes the information is less or even more than what's on the label, but their point of sale material is chock full of great info. They have pictures of the makers. Um, Apparently, they have a couple of other expressions that we don't have yet, but they, as I mentioned, like Jay mentioned, distilled twice in copper pot stills, fermented open air pine vats. So you know that the fermentation is a slow process. They are using a Taona, and the Cuiche. This is the Espadin, but yeah, coming up we've got a Madre Cuiche, which is, see, the other ones are kind of my favorites now. But every time I taste an Espadin from somebody, it's always different. And supposedly these plants are 8 to 10 years old, so we're getting woody, fruity, and citrusy notes.
I
But
saw pictures of them, harvesting the espadines. It's they leave a lot of green on there. They don't cut it too short, so you do get like a slight bit of bitterness, but it adds a lot of flavor all around. I think so. I think that was a good move on their part. I mean, I feel like they have big ambitions to be a force to be reckoned with, and that there's a lot of mezcals out there, and I think that they wanted to really tackle everything and really, put together a robust portfolio. So they have, like the several different marks that they make with the Espadín Reposado. They're going to be doing a 12-year añejo, and they have the Tobala. They're working on a Pechuga now, I think is their latest one. But I think it's fun to see their process. They have a video where they'll show the process, and everything is like all hands on deck. They have a pretty big conical oven and earthen oven in the ground, and there's it's not a tiny palenque.
Yeah, so, well, that's good because they and they're doing it right. So as far as I'm concerned, I think Jay will agree with me. This is a Brand of Promise nominee in the Mezcal Espadín category at 45 ABV, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not it's not aggressive. I really got to say I was expecting a little bit more aggression, but what I like is that the flavor profile, the way it's really evenly balanced, leaning more toward the fruitiness on this. It's really enchanting, I would say.
Mezcal. I mean, you want to have that drinkability and the flavor and the approachability, and it's good. It's really kind of better than what you would hope for if you go out and buy some Espadín. They call it Blanco, but more of a term reserved for tequilas. But it's a smart move. I saw them kind of rolling the glass bottles into the paint to put the label on. That was pretty cool. I've never seen that before. They don't. Yeah, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they roll the bottles into like a
screen print or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice, very clean look. Anyway, folks, that's our take on Prolijo. I want to make sure and I'm going to find out what that means. Okay, so that's Prolijo Espadín Blanco. All right, but stick with us because we've got a couple of other really special expressions that I can't wait to taste with Jay. But Brand of Promise nominee definitely in the Mezcal Joven Artesanal category. My name is Mike Morales. You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our platforms. Please follow us if you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like. If you're listening to us on the podcast, that's great. Listen to us on Spotify. Download it from anywhere where you listen to your podcast. And whatever you do, as Jay will take us home, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely, friends.